It's time to develop your strategic business plan. You must have a true north life plan though, or else your strategic business plan can be taking you somewhere where you as an entrepreneur ultimately don't want to go. Those two must be aligned. It's one of the biggest learnings I've had as an entrepreneur is how to align your true north life plan with your strategic business plan. So what is strategy anyway? Strategy is the process of deploying limited amount of resources, your people, your cash, your time, against an unlimited amount of opportunities that exist out there in the world. And way too often as entrepreneurs, we chase those shiny objects, not realizing that we're limited in the amount of resources we actually have to deploy against these opportunities. So think about that one more time. You have a limited amount of resources, cash, time, people, whatever, to deploy against an unlimited world of opportunities. How are you going to narrow down those opportunities and strategically focus your business around them? So as we go through this process, I borrowed principles from Vern, Harnish's Scaling Up, Gary Keller's The One Thing, Simon Sinek, Start With Why, and let's just start right there. What is the why of your business? You've now identified your true north life plan, where you want to go, but what is the why of the business? And if you think about Simon Sinek, Start With Why, he has this golden circle that he draws, and there's a really good TED Talk. I'd encourage you to go search up on YouTube, Simon Sinek, Start With Why, and he explains this fantastically, which is ultimately, a lot of companies know what they do. Some companies know how they do it, but very few companies know why they do what they do. So I'm not going to go through the Simon Sinek video here, but if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, if you don't know what this is right here for your business, that's a problem. So you first need to know why your company exists and what are you trying to accomplish. And again, it's very important. This must relate to your true north life plan. If your company is doing something that's not aligned with you personally, that's not a really good way to start. So you have your why. You know what you're trying to accomplish. You know how you're trying to accomplish it, but you must know why you exist as a business. And that's a very important exercise. I actually start all of my strategic business planning sessions by actually playing Simon Sinek Start With Why video with my team. And we ask ourselves the question, why are we here? Why are we here? What are we trying to accomplish here? So now that you know that, let's go to the next step of the strategic business planning process, SWOT. So the first part of documenting is, what are your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? This is an age-old concept in business. You must have that. I actually have the teams that I meet with come prepared with what they think the SWOT is of the business prior to the meeting, so we can have a very effective brainstorm right off the bat on, do we all agree on our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats? Second part, what are our core values? And importantly, behaviors. So if you think about it, a lot of companies have their core values on the wall. Everybody talks about it, right? Oh, we have our posters on the wall. No one really knows what they are. But this is an opportunity to identify with the team not only what our core values are, what are the 3 or 4 or 5 core values we have as an organization, but what are the demonstrable behaviors that correspond to these core values and what is not. If you do this, you are violating our core values. I think a lot of companies miss this step right here of identifying the exact behaviors that go along with their core values. This needs to be part of the strategic business plan. The whole company needs to know exactly why you exist, what your SWOT is, what your core values are, and what are the behaviors that fit or don't fit the core values of your business. The third part is the mission, which goes back to the why. The vision, ultimately, what are you trying to create? And the BHAG. So again, credit to Jim Collins here for BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. What is that goal that scares the crap out of you and everybody in the room? What is that mission, vision, and BHAG that you're trying to accomplish as a business? And I encourage my entrepreneurs to really think big. Think beyond their level. This is really an ultimate, if you want to call it, destination of where you want to build your business. Not next year, not 10 years, maybe even 20 years from now. Where do you ultimately want to grow? I think it's Bill Gates who said a lot of people really underestimate what they can do in 10 years. They overestimate what they can do in 1 year, which is a different problem, but they underestimate what they can ultimately accomplish in their business if they can dream big and let loose a little bit. So that's a really important aspect of this. 4, what is your 3-year strategic plan? Where do you want to be in 3 years that if you were to get here, it would align to your mission, vision, and BHAG? So you go through what are the key thrusts and capabilities we need to have? What are some areas we need to expand our business? What are the team members we need to have on board? What are some of the processes and ultimate items we need to have on board? 5, you go through the 1-year plan. And that goes through really, I like to work on 5 key targets. What are 5 key areas targeted with SMART goals, shared, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time phase? That's the definition of the SMART acronym for the 1 year. What are 5 key areas that will define success, as well as some KPIs for the 1 year plan? And the 6th part on the far right column of the plan is the quarterly. So what do you need to do? And what we do for the quarterly is we do 5 key items as well for each quarter. So in Q1, what are the 5 key things you need to accomplish in Q1 to be on track to your year plan, to be on track for your 3-year plan? What are the 5 key things you need to do in Q2? So this model is covered in the $100 million plan. Also, if you go to 100mjourney.com, we have the Strategic Business Plan Workbook, or the $100 million Journey Workbook, but within the $1 million Journey Workbook is the Strategic Business Plan template in Google Sheets or Excel that you can download and use for your team. If you need any assistance with that, please reach out to us at 100mjourney.com for a free consultation on how to build a strategic business plan for your business.